What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode number 23 of Generational Sports. I got, as always, my co-host Josh here with me. How are we doing, my friend?
Doing good, man. The player props were hitting this weekend, and the pup's stomach calmed down. So
I was going to say, we're not going to have to worry about any more, poop interruptions.
I hope not, man, but I can't predict with him. He's a little crazy fella.
Well, I guess we're going to find out. And, of course, as you guys can tell, we have a special guest on the show, Luke Rosenthal. How are you doing, my friend? What's going on with you?
Not too good after last night's Packers loss. I'll tell you that.
Don't worry. We will absolutely get into that. We absolutely will. But, of course, before we get into things, got to thank the sponsors, as we always do. So if you're into the betting world, make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code USM100 to double your first deposit. I always go back to week one of the NFL, which is crazy to say now because we have our Super Bowl matchup set. But week one, I think the Chiefs had to lose by 56 points in order for you to not win money. I don't think anybody was really too worried about that one. So if you're into the betting world, make sure you go over there and check them out. USM 100 doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. Then, of course, with your winnings, you go over to rxhemp.com and use code rxhemp-usn to save you 10% on your entire order. They got CBD creams over there. So if you're in pain after a long workout, sitting in your chair all day at work or at school, make sure you go over there, get some CBD cream. You'll feel brand new. And finally, and certainly not least, make sure you go over to Teespring/store/unwrapped and check out the merch. Because not only do me and Josh have merch for Generational Sports, we got merch for everybody. Unwrapped has merch. We got merch for Saturday Standouts, Ladies First, the Hard Count. Basically, if there's a show on the live lineup, Fights Unwrapped, if there's a show out there, we probably have merch for it. So if you want to support the squad, make sure you go and check that out. It would be greatly appreciated. Now that that's over, Luke, I want to give you the floor for a second just to tell the people a little bit more about yourself. Obviously, I know you very well, but some of the people out there might not know what you got going on.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
So my name's Luke. Obviously, I run a TikTok account called football.fanzone on TikTok. Currently, I have about a past 65,000 followers on there. So we got some good stuff on there, and just ready to to go back at it with you guys. So.
Yes, sir. So make sure you go and check him out over there. Always, off the top of your head, what's the most views you've gotten on a video?
About 1.5 mil, 1.5, I think.
What it was about?
I believe I was going over the best player at each jersey number earlier during this summer. So yeah.
Okay. Always on the grind out here. I respect
Yes,
it. We love to see that. All right, you guys know how we start out over here on Generational Sports. You got to start off with a "Who am I?" And it is Josh's turn. Or Josh, here's the thing. Do you want to guess, or should we give this one to Luke? Like we usually do with our guests.
I think we should give it to Luke.
Okay. So, Luke, if you don't know, we started out with the Who Am I every week. We usually give, a minute 30, minute 40 to guess. I think you should get this one.
Right.
It's not too difficult for me. So, Josh, after I give the first hint, if you want to start the timer, feel free to do so. You ready, Luke?
Yes, sir.
I was drafted in the first round of the 2006 draft. I played for, 5 teams in my career. But I was drafted by the Chargers. He is a 4-time Pro Bowler and an NFL interceptions leader in 2007.
Okay. Not Brandon Flowers, shoot.
I'll give you the teams. He played for the Chargers, Jets, Cardinals, the Jets practice squad, and then the Colts in 2016.
And is it Antonio Cromartie? No?
You're absolutely right. It is.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see. See, I thought it was pretty gettable. I was feeling confident in it.
Yeah, once you said Jets, I got it. So
that's great planning by me because of course I found Cromartie about 30 seconds before I just asked you, so a little bit of the behind the scenes going on over there. But all right, let's move it on to what everybody is here for, and that is the conference championship recap. We'll start it off with a game that I know is near and dear to Luke's heart, being a Packers fan over there, an Aaron Rodgers truther. But we'll start it off with the Bucs and Green Bay. And, the Bucs did get the win. Brady, I say this, and of course everybody knows I will forever be a Brady defender, as I have Dad right above me. So, I have to. I mean, you can't. He had a great first half. I mean, no mistakes, the 2 touchdowns. And then after the turnover, starting the second half, he threw that third. And from there, well, it was, as Max Kellerman would like to say, a cliff. Yep. Ended up with the 3 interceptions. Is there any question? And I mean, I think we just kind of throw it out there at this point because it's still a fun conversation to have because people like to argue it. Josh, I'll start it off with you. Is there any question that Brady is the GOAT?
I don't think there is. I don't think there was a while ago. I mean, when he got 6, I think that was pretty much like, hey, this guy's the best to ever do it. But to make it to 10 Super Bowls in your first year in the whole new conference, a whole new team, and you make it there, it's unheard of. So I definitely think this solidifies the GOAT. It's going to be very tough for anyone to catch him.
Luke, what you think? GOATed?
Unfortunately, yep. Yesterday kind of solidified that for me. So, I mean, you can't argue against 10 Super Bowl appearances. 6 wins, 3 losses. Although I think that Seahawks win could have easily gone the other way. But yeah, I think there should be a difference between greatness and I guess like best. I don't know. Whereas I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. I think he's more talented than Tom Brady, and I always will. However, can't argue against that loss yesterday. That I kind of put the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, I mean, listen. You're not going to get a different answer out of me, obviously. I've had Brady as the GOAT going back probably to the Seahawks Super Bowl. I know that some people probably might disagree with that and say, maybe after the Falcons. I think the Falcons one is the one that really solidified it. Like, you're coming back from 28-3 third quarter, but I mean, I go back to the Seahawk one, down 10 points in the fourth quarter. I believe he threw for 2 touchdowns and had over 200 yards in the fourth quarter alone. As we got a Skur in the chat, what's up? Luke, you'll be great friends with Skur by the end of this. He's also a devastated Packers fan. So you guys will probably get along very well in the chat.
So.
But yeah, I've had Brady as a GOAT for a while, and I mean, it's funny. I mentioned Max Kellerman before, and I was watching a clip today from First Take. That since the Cliff prediction, Tom Brady has gotten to 5 more Super Bowls. No, I lied. 4 more Super Bowls in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Today, Max Kellerman was like, after my Cliff, prediction, Tom Brady's gone on to have a Hall of Fame career. So, I mean, it's kind of unbelievable what he says. And, I was in CJ stream last night when he was playing Madden 2K. CJ, also a member of Unwrapped. We had him on a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite people out here. And I said, I always go back and forth, as you can kind of see over my left shoulder for me. Yankee fan as well. And, I've always liked Jeter and Brady. I mean, I think, and it's not like I was ever comparing them. It was just, a personal favorite type of thing. But the greatness of Brady for so long, I think, is what has now made him, for me personally. Obviously, everybody has their favorite athlete. Like, my personal favorite, I mean, you're getting to 10 Super Bowls he has more Super Bowl appearances than Big Ben, Peyton Manning, Rodgers, and Drew Brees combined.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's always the people that he was compared to. So it's kind of unbelievable. I really thought that this was the year, but Rodgers let it slip away. I tried telling you on bands that it wasn't going to happen. Can't have 6 points off 3 turnovers and expect to win. Exactly. Don't you worry, Skur. We are going to get there. We really, really will get there. But yeah, I think we can all agree that that Brady is kind of the GOAT right now. I think the conversation has been over for a while, but I think it's always a fun conversation to have. Now let's get to the Packers, though. And I think this is the call that a lot of people are going to be talking about for a very long time. I didn't like the call at the moment. I saw a lot of people on Twitter didn't like the call at the moment, but Matt LaFleur ended up going with it. 4th down, they're down by 8 points, and they ended up kicking a field goal. Luke, I want to know your thoughts, being the Packers fan in here, what your thoughts were going, at that moment.
Mm-hmm. So in the moment, thought it was a stupid call. I was on live stream during that game. I said, okay, we just lost. You can't bet against Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, with 2 minutes left, trying to stop him, putting the money in your defense rather than betting on your MVP quarterback to win you the football game there. I will say, looking back at it, it made a little bit more sense, but I still don't love the call. Matt LaFleur actually let Aaron Rodgers call the third down play in the red zone there, where he threw an incomplete pass to Devontae Adams, tried to force it in there, which some people thought that he could run it in. I don't think he'd be able to run it in there.
I think he could have.
I don't know, man.
It happened last week against the Rams. He did the same thing.
But I don't know. I feel like people are underestimating like the speed of I think Devin White was in there, their defensive backs, even JPP was right behind him. But I think at least he would have gotten to the 2 or 1 yard line maybe. And then probably it would have been a different call going for it on fourth down. But I don't know. I just don't. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth, betting against Tom Brady, betting on your defense to stop him rather than your MVP quarterback going to win the game. So.
Yeah, and Rodgers could have made an easier fourth down if you're in. See, that was my thought process around it too. Like I look back at that play, and that's kind of what I look at the most. It's the fact that I think the game changes completely if he runs it there instead of throwing the incomplete pass, because now it's probably like fourth and goal at like the 2 or the 3. And what were they at? Like the 8 yard line, I believe. Mm-hmm. So, at that point you kind of pick your favorite, 2-point conversion play and go for it from there. That was my thought process behind running it. I still think he had a chance, to run it in on the play, because if you rewatch the play, there are 2 people towards the right, pylon, but they're both running left. So now they have to change direction. Rodgers already has the momentum going right. So it would have been interesting. I mean, obviously we're never going to know. You can't go back. And of course we all say these things, and hindsight's 2020. So I'm sure if, Matt LaFleur could go back in time, maybe he doesn't kick the field goal now. My thing with the field goal as well, though, you're down 8. So the field goal makes it 5. Like it's not like you were down 5 and the field goal, makes it 2, or you're down 7. And I don't know. And it didn't make it a field goal game. That's why I didn't understand it mostly. Josh, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't get why they go for a field goal there. Like you said, it's still a touchdown game, even when you get those 3 points. And if you're going to let your quarterback call the third down play, you got to at least let them know, like, hey, we're probably going to kick a field goal on fourth down. Because I doubt Aaron knew that they were going to kick the field goal. He probably would have maybe ran the ball there to try to get it in the end zone, or would have kind of tried to make more time out there, try to find someone open. But just having him call the third down play and then pull him out, it's just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I think if you don't get on fourth down, they're inside their own 10. It makes it a lot easier for your field advantage if they punt it and you're out of timeouts. You're probably looking at like a 50-yard drive rather than an 80-yard drive if they drive down and score or something. So it didn't make a lot of sense to not go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, and that was the thing as well. I was watching, some shows today where apparently Rodgers didn't know that they weren't going to go for it on fourth down. And to me, that's an automatic communication breakdown. Like you said, Josh, I feel like if you're going to let him call the third down play, you have to let him know as well that that's your final opportunity. Like there's no way that things wouldn't have been different. Like I said, I thought he could have ran it, get closer or whatever, but that's a whole different thing. Cause now maybe his mindset is, oh, well, I'll throw this incompletion third down. I still have another opportunity. And, I feel like it changed the whole game. I don't know who that miscommunication's on. I don't know if Rodgers didn't ask, but even then I think LaFleur has to tell him. So that's kind of just a weird situation to me. I don't want to, kill LaFleur because, going into the game, there's not a single. I mean, Luke, maybe I'm wrong, and you can tell me if I am. I don't think too many Packers fans out there were saying LaFleur was a bad coach or anything like that. No. So I don't want to kill him off of that one mistake. Yeah, it is a big mistake. It's the conference championship game, but I mean, it's tough. And yeah, like you say, Austin, miscommunication caused the loss for sure. It definitely had a hand in it. It definitely had a hand in it. I mean, Luke, what are your thoughts on just Rodgers apparently not knowing that they weren't going for it on fourth down?
I mean, I just don't know why the communication wasn't there. Like, they've been on point all season long. And what was especially weird was that they've gone for it on fourth down many times throughout the season. They've been super aggressive in the red zone. And on top of that, they weren't just a good red zone offense. They were a historically great red zone offense. They had the highest touchdown percentage, I think, in NFL history at 80% in the red zone, and they couldn't get it in there multiple times. It was a weird game. It really was. So I don't know.
Christian, stop lying right now. I'm the greatest communicator in Warzone that the world has ever seen. Make sure, if you haven't checked out the streams, Anthony_Con over on Twitch. We out here playing some Warzone every once in a while. But Austin, I'm a huge Packers fan. I don't think he's a bad coach. It's a bad situation with no team comms. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to act like LaFleur is a bad coach because he's not. I mean, how many games have the Packers even lost since he's taken over? It can't be. I know for a fact it's not double digits. So, and like Matt says, I kind of want to get into this as well. But I'll start with what you just said, Luke. And it's the fact that they were a very good red zone offense, but it's also weird that in this game that they weren't. Rodgers was 2 for 9 in the red zone. And here's my thing too. Like, I know you have Davante Adams, who probably, actually not probably, he was the best wide receiver this year. Even though he missed a couple of games, still led the league in touchdowns. He was absolutely unbelievable. But I feel like at some points Rodgers was forcing it to Adams in the red zone. I know it. Listen, if it's not broke, you don't fix it. But in that game, it was. I think he was 1 for 7 or 1 for 6 when targeting Adams in the red zone, and 2 for 9 total. So I mean, that just tells you how much he was trying to get the ball to Davante Adams. Now, Luke? Luke, you can start off, and then Josh, you can follow it up. Do you think that that's play calling? You put that on Rodgers? Like what do you put that on? Because I think the play calls weren't that bad. I blame Rodgers more for. I feel like he was staring down Adams at some points. I remember they showed a replay where he threw it to the back of the end zone to Adams, but there was somebody literally wide open underneath. So I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts are, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's kind of worked all season long, and it was kind of weird to see. I think it was the drive where they kicked the field goal on fourth down. He had wide open Davante Adams, got a great release off the line, and it was a back shoulder sort of throw catch, and he just dropped it.
In the beginning of the game.
Those sort of things have not happened this entire season or like in years past. So I don't know. It was we've seen it work quite often this year. I think Davante Adams is probably, if not one of the best red zone targets in the league. It just didn't click this game. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree with both you guys. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Every time they've been in the red zone, Adams has been that guy for them. But I feel like when you're going up against a team like the Bucs, who just took away everything from you in the regular season matchup, you got to come in with something a little bit different. The normal red zone stuff isn't going to work. I thought Robert Tonyan should have been targeted more in the red zone. He's been a beast for them in those type of situations all year long, but they just kept force-feeding Adams, and that's why those 3 turnovers only resulted in 6 points. They didn't really switch it up. They made it pretty easy for the Bucs defense, but at the same time, it's worked all year. So I think it was kind of a mixture of both play calling and decision-making on Rodgers' parts, because he could obviously audible at the line of scrimmage, make adjustments, or just go to a different guy. But I think it was both coaching and Rodgers' decision-making this game.
Now, I want to get into Aaron Rodgers, but before we do that, because he had some comments after the game, and I even just want to break down his performance a little bit. The game-ending play, the holding, I don't know if it was a holding or a pass interference, but that clearly ended the game. It gave the Bucs a first down. The Packers didn't have enough time on the clock to get the ball back. So I mean, that's the thing. This is where I land on. I know they didn't call it all game. Like, even on the Aaron Rodgers interception, over the middle at the end of the first half, which the Bucs ended up capitalizing on big time, which is another thing you can really get into. I don't know what Kevin King is doing on that. I don't know what Pettin is doing on that play call. Just play the end zone. You know that they're probably going to go deep. If not, you give up something underneath and get a field goal. And look at how much that would have probably changed the game. But, they didn't call it on that. They were letting them play all game. But this is the thing that this is like the analogy that I saw that I really liked. The thing on where Rodgers threw the pick, I saw a guy say it's like going 70 and a 65. But that at the end of the game with that holding or pass interference or whatever it was, he was like, that was kind of going like 165. Like you could clearly see, like there was at least like a yard of separation. You could see the jersey pull. I mean, that's almost, I mean, nothing will really compare to the Saints-Rams game, kind of egregious call, but that would have almost been that type of level of, annoyance for some fans if that wasn't called. Luke, you might disagree with me on this one because of the Packers fandom, but what did you think of the game-ending call?
I could not believe they called that. I couldn't believe that game ended like that after not calling it all game long. There's a ton of false starts on both teams. I know the Packers especially, a ton of holding calls on the offensive line, and they were just letting them play all game long. You can't. I'm not mad at the call because it was obvious a holding or pass interference. I forget which one. I think it was pass interference.
Yeah,
it was obvious,
it was.
right? He was holding. I don't think it was his jersey. I think it was like his undershirt or whatever. He was obviously holding it, stretching it out. But it's just the inconsistency of it all. Like, that's what really bugs me. You can't not call that for 58 straight minutes, and then on the most important play of the game, all of a sudden want to throw that flag. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just obviously they weren't calling it all game. It comes down to that. You just don't end a game on a call like that, and especially how long it took him to throw the flag. I mean, everybody on defense was staring at him, and then he just throws it like 5 seconds after the play is already dead. That's my biggest problem with it, was how late the flag was, because it was obviously pass interference, and they got to be on top of that if they're going to start calling that. But to throw it so late, knowing that that's the flag that basically seals the game, no more timeouts, really, it's over. I hate it, but it was the right call, so there's not too much to complain about. It's just the delay of it is what really got me mad.
Now here's my question, and whoever wants to jump on it first can. Is it more of the call because they weren't calling it all game? Because here's my thing: if it was like the Aaron Rodgers interception one where they didn't call it was that the little tug of the shoulder pad, and they called it. Listen, I support Brady obviously as much as anybody else, but even I would be like, "Yo, come on, you didn't call that all game." But this one was kind of like egregious. Like you could easily see it. Does it make it any easier? I guess you can say.
I would say no. It doesn't really make it easier. I think, missed calls are missed calls regardless of how much. Like if that Saints-Rams one, if all he did was pull on his jersey a little bit, but it was clear, there's still the same reaction from a missed call. So I think just the severity of it doesn't matter. It's just one of those calls.
Yeah, I agree. It was just the timing of it all. And actually that – what made me sort of think that the field goal was actually a good play, looking back at it later, was if that call never happened, the Packers would be getting the ball back there and they would just get, have to score a touchdown, obviously. But it was egregious. It was obvious, but it just left a sour taste in my mouth that they would call it then and there, and not call it all game. So
definitely fair. I can completely understand that for sure. Now, let's get into probably the bigger story of the game. Actually, I'll save that for last. I want to grade Aaron Rodgers' performance. Now, he did play a good game. He had the 3 touchdowns. He had over 300 yards, threw the 1 interception, which, you can kind of, whatever about it, because there was probably a holding on that. Actually, not probably. There was a holding on that call. That just wasn't, there was no flag for it. But you also look back, the Bucs turn the ball over, the Packers come down and score, or actually, no. The Bucs score. No. Oh my gosh, I can't speak right now. My bad. Don't worry, we'll get this. The Packers score, Bucs turn over 2 times in a row, and both of those times they were 3 and outs for the Packers. I mean, obviously you can't put all of it on Aaron Rodgers. Even with that, I still probably give him like a B-. Obviously, he would have done a lot better if they ended up winning that game and got points off the turnover, or, if Brady went down and had a game-winning drive, like at that point, you really can't blame the quarterback if somebody just has a game-winning drive. But yeah, Luke, what are you grading your boy on?
I'd give him a solid B. I think it would have been higher if he capitalized on even one of those.
You
turnovers.
Packers fans are just in unison right here. Skur giving him a B, you giving him a B.
I love it. Yeah, I'd give him a B. I thought I don't think that interception should have counted. I think that should have gotten called back. But other than that, I thought he played pretty well. They don't ask him to throw a lot, or they didn't throughout the season, but he almost threw, I think, 48 times in this game. So it was a little bit of a different offensive scheme. Obviously, they couldn't run the ball, and Aaron Jones got hurt, but I'd give him a solid B.
Yeah, I'd give him like a B plus or an A minus. I thought he played a really good game. Outside of not being able to capitalize on those points, he put up his normal numbers, and his normal games are around like an A grade for me. So I'd say A minus.
All right, now the big story to some people. To me, it's not as much of a story because I feel like after every loss going into the offseason, Rodgers says the exact same thing about his future and being uncertain, blah, 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 whatever. But after the game, once again said, we don't know, what's going on. A lot of the guys' futures here, including mine, are uncertain. This, that, and the third. Luke, are you scared at all your boy's not going to be there next year?
No, not at all. He's going to be the starting quarterback next year. It's not like they're going to trade him. They're definitely not going to cut him. That would just drop a bomb in their cap space. He's like, what, 40 mil against the cap. He's going to be back next year, unless he pulls a Deshaun Watson and requests a trade once out, which I don't think he would ever do, to be honest. I don't necessarily know if he's going to finish his career in Green Bay, but I think definitely for the foreseeable future next year, even the year after that, maybe he'll be the Packers quarterback. So,
yeah, I think he's going to be there next year, but after that, I'm not sure. I don't think we've ever seen a quarterback and then they draft his replacement and they stick together on the same roster for too long. I've never seen that really happen. So I think he'll be there next year, but if they're not able to reach the Super Bowl or they get even worse, then I think Rodgers is looking to put himself in a situation. I'd like to see him on a team like the Rams. I think if he goes to LA, that they'd be really, really good. So,
bro, if he can get his way to the Rams, we got to start investigating their cap space, bro. Because they paying everybody, their grandmother and probably their favorite grandchild. I don't know how the Rams don't have any cap space right now, so I don't even think that would be possible. But hey, listen, I might not like Aaron very much because, kind of a prima donna type of thing. And people like Luke over here want to compare him to a god like Tom Brady. But I'm just saying the Patriots have 90 million in cap space. So I would accept it. I don't think Aaron would last though, because once Bill starts getting on him, I don't know, man.
No, I definitely want to see him in New England. I said that last night. I was like, fuck it, man. Just trade him. Just trade him away. He's not going to win here, obviously. Just trade him away to New England. Let him see what he can do with Bill Belichick. And I feel like that would sort of help me out with the whole Rodgers Brady conversation if we saw Rodgers win with Belichick. So
listen, there's no conversation, my guy.
There might be if he wins with Belichick. I don't know.
Well, let's see. Brady might win without Belichick, so we'll see what's really happening.
True.
But let's get into the next game. We'll go over to Kansas City and Buffalo. KC reaches their second consecutive Super Bowl. I'm not ready to say it yet, but I know Josh probably will, so I'll start with you. Are they considered a dynasty?
Yeah, I think they are. With how they have Mahomes locked up for the future, Kelsey, Hill, their key defensive players, they're going to be around for a long time, and they're obviously the team to beat in the AFC, and the teams behind them are also very young with really young quarterbacks too. So I call them a dynasty. Back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. If they win this one, then it's just about getting there and continuing the success they've had. But I would call them a dynasty for sure already.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the Patriots dynasty, the one thing that was constant throughout that all was great quarterback, great head coach. That's exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs have. Great quarterback, great head coach. Unless Andy Reid retires or something unforeseen. But just looking at the weapons that they have, Travis Kelce is all-time great. Tyreek Hill might be the fastest player ever. And then they have a good offensive line. They're going to be set for a while. So,
see, here's my reason I can't call them a dynasty yet. Yeah, they made it to back-to-back Super Bowls, but if they lose, I don't know if you can consider that a dynasty. They were really good, But I mean, the Patriots won back to back, and then they took a year off, decided to let the league recover from that, and then won again. So I don't know if we're going dynasty yet. I'll say that they're getting there if they win this one, which we'll make our actually not Josh. I think we make our Super Bowl predictions next week. We got to keep some suspense out here. Got to make sure that the people come back. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on going forward. But they do have everybody locked up. I don't listen. Like I said. If Rodgers somehow ever got to the Rams, we have to investigate their cap space. But I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs ownership is paying somebody off that they have everybody locked up. How are they paying Mahomes all this money? They paying Kelsey top money. They paying Tyreek top money. They got Chris Jones locked up. I mean, bro, where are we coming from? Listen, I probably can't say this. I can't say this because I'm a Patriots fan and we've never paid anybody in my entire 20-year history on this earth. But I mean, bro, this is possible.
Didn't they have like $54 in cap, and then they signed Mahomes to like that 10-year deal, and then Chris Jones right after that? Like, how did that happen?
You know what? Listen, all I'm saying is the Denver Broncos back in the day, which I didn't even know until a couple years ago, were somehow hiding their cap space, and they were technically over it, but the NFL didn't know. I'm telling you, NFL. I know it's probably good for your marketing, so they won't actually investigate it. But I mean, bro, there's no way that they're signing all these people and they're not over the cap. See, and here's the other thing too. You're going to tell me that the cap is going to stay the same after the year of COVID? No. There's no way. Aren't they already projecting it to go down?
Yeah, I think it's like 185 mil or something like that, 175 mil.
And what was it this past season?
I think it was over 200, right?
And you telling me the Chiefs can just keep all these players? I'm calling cap. Listen, I might have to save it for the cap segment at the end of the day, but I'm calling it right now. There's no way. They're paying off Roger Goodell. Mahomes is giving him free catch-up, something. I don't know, maybe some, insurance stuff, the Mahomes discount, whatever you want to say. But let's go over to the Bills real quick. They obviously lost. I mean, it kind of wasn't too much of a competition besides that 9-0 start where, listen, before the game, I tried to place an over and Bills money line parlay. And when it was 9-0, I was like, yes, let's go. I'm about to win money. So I went back to check it if it actually went through, and it didn't. And I was very mad. I was like, yo, they just don't want to see me win out here. They don't want me to get my money. And then they ended up getting smacked, and your boy was a lot happier when he found that out. But what was the Bills' biggest problem in that game? I know I have my thoughts, but Josh, what do you think the problem was?
Yeah, I think their offense it was just stagnant. They weren't moving the ball at all. The defensive backs for the Chiefs were smothering their receivers. Stephon Diggs had no space and just made things really tough for Josh Allen. So I really think it was just not establishing a run game early on. They were trying to throw the ball a lot early on, and it kind of set the Chiefs up perfectly to stop the running and the pass with how the Bills were playing it. So I think their game plan was just really bad coming into this game. It didn't look like the same Bills offense we've been seeing the past 8 to 10 weeks when they've been on this really hot streak. So I think their biggest problem was just their offensive game plan facing a team like the Chiefs.
Yeah, he said it exactly. I just think that they ran into a better team, a much better team. Like you said, their offense was stagnant all game long. I still think they're one of those teams that are another year or two away. Obviously, Josh Allen, rose exponentially this year. He was crazy good, kind of out of nowhere. But I think looking forward, the Bills are going to be good, but they just ran into a much better team. You didn't see a lot from Josh Allen in this game. I think he only had one passing. Did he only have one passing touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Chiefs secondary with Tyrann Mathieu was ridiculous. They were just a solid team, man. Offensively, defensively, secondary, front seven, they have it all.
Yeah, that was what I was looking at, and it might have been this as Matt says here that they kind of ran out of gas almost. I didn't know it until they put it on during the pregame, but the Bills from that whatever week they played the Chiefs in the regular season on was the number one scoring team in the NFL. I think they were scoring 34 points a game, something ridiculous. And then, by the time the playoffs started, it almost felt like they were out of gas. You look at their first, couple playoff games before this one, even they weren't very impressive. I know when they played the Ravens, the weather wasn't that great, so maybe you can chalk it up to that. But I mean, the week before that, I can't remember who they played. Who they played in week the Colts. Yeah, like it wasn't the best there. And then, like you said, nope, it felt like nobody was open ever in this Chiefs game. And it's weird because obviously the attention always goes over to the offense for the Chiefs, but it just felt like nobody was open at any time. And I saw a report today that apparently Cole Beasley was playing with like a fractured tibia or something like that. So he was playing through that. So that, definitely doesn't help anybody out to get separation. But that's what my biggest problem was, besides the defense, not getting a stop maybe ever. Like I don't remember the Chiefs punting in that game. Did they?
I don't think so.
Like it was, and don't get me wrong,
in the fourth quarter, but then they didn't punt it all the rest of the game.
Like, don't get me wrong. I know it's the Chiefs' offense, and they're hard enough to stop already. But I mean, bro, you gotta muster up something. I mean, they weren't getting pressure on Mahomes. And here's my thing too. Like the Chiefs' offense is great, but like, and maybe I'm just an annoying Patriots fan and don't want to see another dynasty because I want the Patriots to go down as the best ever. Bro, I feel like the Chiefs' offense is super good. Don't get me wrong. But nobody ever like wraps up anybody either. I feel like so many plays could have been stopped if the Bills just wrapped somebody up instead of going for a hit. Like they had Mahomes in the backfield like 3 times, and they try arm tackling. Like it kills me out here, killing me. Like I need a Madden hit stick, bro.
It's hard to wrap up a guy like Tyreek Hill who runs like 23 miles per hour on a 70-yard catch and run. Like he's so. I think he's the most elusive player I've ever seen. Honestly, nobody could bring him down. He just absolutely outruns everybody. Like I don't know. I mean, we're young. This is the most generational. This is the most Gen Z thing that we're probably going to say that Tyreek Hill is the most elusive player we've seen. We're going to have all the old heads in here talking Barry Sanders. But listen, bro, I didn't see Barry Sanders play. The only time I see Barry Sanders play is when I get him on Ultimate Team in Madden. Exactly.
So I don't want to hear nothing. But I mean. You're right. It's a lot easier for me to say not being on the field because, listen, my fat self would get tracked down by a lineman, so it doesn't really matter. But it's something to behold, to say the least. Trying to chase down, Did you see the hurdle attempt about 61? I did not see a hurdle attempt.
Yeah, neither.
I absolutely did not. I'm gonna have to look that up though. I'm gonna tell you that. All right, let's see what's next here. This AFC Championship game was Bills Chiefs, obviously. And do you guys think that they're, the 2 big threats in the AFC going forward?
I think definitely out of the AFC East, they're definitely the best. The Bills are. The Chiefs are going to be there for a while. I've been looking at the Ravens, the Browns. Those are going to be some contenders next year. And then we'll see whoever comes out of the AFC South. Titans are always going to be there with Derrick Henry. The Colts have a ton of cap space, great offensive line, but they have a quarterback problem right now. So I think definitely Bills and Chiefs are probably the 2 closest things to a championship team in the AFC right now. But Browns and Ravens are coming. So
yeah, I would say the Bills are the biggest threat to the Chiefs right now. The Browns are on their way, but just the inconsistency from Baker makes me scared to say that they're their biggest threat. So I'll put the Bills up there just because Josh Allen and that offense is really good. But if they had a running game and a better defense, I would say they're right up there with the Chiefs.
Bro, they have – and they like their running game is literally like a subtraction. Like it's not even like it's bad. Like it's literally they're all it's embarrassing.
It's Josh Allen. That's their running game.
Yeah, literally. Josh Allen is the best running back on that team by far. Like they got there's some free agents out there this season. Your boy Aaron Jones is probably going to be gone. I saw Marlon Mack is probably might be on the market as well. The Bills better start making phone calls. But yeah, I think I would probably, if I had to rank it, I would say the Bills are 1, and then you put the Ravens at 2 just because of what Lamar can do and the offense, especially if they get him more weapons, and their defense is pretty solid. But I mean, Mahomes is kind of Lamar's dad right now. Exactly. Those games are never really even competitive, as I found out earlier on in the year. But it'll be interesting to see going forward. This can definitely turn into a Patriots 2.0 type of thing because, like we've said many times before, even though I think that they need to be investigated, they got everybody under cap. Like they have everybody, signed. So they're going to be a very big problem moving forward. But let's go over to the Bills and focus on them a little bit. What do they have to do in the offseason to get better? I mean, obviously they made it to the AFC Championship game, but they didn't get over that hump that every team wants to, make it to a Super Bowl and eventually win it. If you're asking me, I think they just need a number 2 wide receiver. Maybe they got to somehow fix their run defense. I mean, it feels like every week that even in the playoffs they were getting ran all over. So they definitely have to shore that up. But you got to get a number 2 wide receiver. Cole Beasley's good. John Brown is pretty solid, but you obviously have Stephon Diggs way up here. Then everybody else is kind of at the bottom for that Bills team. So if they can get a solid number 2. I don't know what free agents are available this offseason besides like the big ones and Allen Robinson. I don't think they could afford him or anything like that because you don't really want to pay 2 wide receivers great money. But if they can get a number 2, I think the Bills offense takes another leap. You obviously saw what Josh Allen did with Stephon Diggs. So imagine if they had 2 solid wide receivers, it would be something to behold, to say the least. Luke, what are you looking at for them to improve?
Definitely run game. They need someone else. Maybe if they don't want to get a guy like Aaron Jones or Marlon Mack, maybe they look through the draft. Maybe a guy like Travis Etienne or Najee Harris falls to them. Do they have the 29th or the 30th draft pick? I don't know.
They'll have,
because I know that they have the same record as the Packers, but I don't know what the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I don't know how I mean, I could probably search it up.
I think it'll probably be because the Packers were the higher seed, so they're probably 30. So I don't know if that's how it works, though. I'm not percent sure.
Yeah, but definitely they need a run game. I'd say O-line help because Josh Allen was taking some hits last night, and then threw the ball right at the defender's face.
Got a little chippy there at the end of the game, huh?
Yeah, I loved it, and I think they need a pass rush. Ed Oliver is yet to come on. I don't know what he's doing. So yeah, those are probably the biggest 3 needs.
Josh.
Yeah, I think running game for sure that they need to shore up. I think getting a number 2 receiver isn't necessarily something they need badly, considering they have Cole Beasley, who's a solid receiver. I think getting a cornerback on the opposite side of Tre'Davious White is a huge necessity because he's obviously really, really good, but teams would just I mean, A.J. Brown's son, Josh Norman, about 12 times on that one game. So they need a cornerback on the other side to help that defense stop the pass more, but definitely a running back is first, and then a receiver to go alongside Diggs would be huge too.
Bro, Josh Norman is so washed, bro.
Like,
it's so weird to think because, like, I remember obviously him in Carolina because all the stuff that went on with him and OBJ. Like, right after he left Carolina, man fell off the planet. Like, not a cliff, like just the absolute planet.
I think it's one of those situations where he got his bag and then he was just like, you know what? I'm
bro,
cool.
that's the other thing too. Man, King Henry killed
him.
Josh Norman's been embarrassed a few times. Like after a while, I'd be like, yo, I just can't compete. What was it? Who was it? Vontae Davis who retired at halftime?
Yeah.
Like, bro, at that point, I'm like heading back to the locker room and be like, yo, here's the cleats, dog. Like, I can't do this no more. Vontae Davis retiring at halftime might be one of my favorite things that's ever happened in sports.
Absolutely.
Like, that was the funniest, most random thing ever. Like, everybody was like, Vontae Davis is not on the field. What happened? And then they're like, oh, yeah, he retired. Like, that's a bold strap, my guy. But now that we do have the Super Bowl to be set right now, I mean, I'm having a hard time thinking about it. Obviously, we have had some good games, but on paper, is this the best Super Bowl matchup we've had? I'll go with Luke.
No. I would have much rather had the State Farm Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. So I will be watching Super Bowl 55 for the weekend halftime show. That's just me.
I think on paper, I mean, we've had matchups. We had Manning versus Breeze when they were both kind of in their prime. But other than that, I can't think of any more like quarterbacks at this level going at it. I can't think of too many Super Bowls where both teams had this elite level of quarterback talent. And I think it's the best on paper matchup we've ever seen with how talented the Bucs roster is, and everyone knows about this Chiefs team. I think just looking at it before the game starts, it's going to be a crazy matchup.
This is like the perfect thing for the NFL if Mahomes wins. because then it's like the official passing of the torch. You
Mhm.
can, make all the memes of Brady passing the torch off. Like, bro, the NFL 100% wants the Chiefs to win. Now, I think Brady's going to make him his son again, but that's a different story for a different day. But this is going to be a fun matchup. And hey, we're finally going to see a former, big three Bs win a Super Bowl, baby.
Mhm.
Because let me tell
Finally.
you, when they were all together in Pittsburgh, it just didn't happen. I'll still say this: I rank it Steelers #1 most disappointing team over the last 10 years, and then there's a gap, and then the Packers because come on, bro. I feel like everybody always said that they were going to win a Super Bowl, and they just never did. But could have been 2 straight years of State Farm Bowls, but the Packers couldn't get the job done.
Nope. I mean, last year didn't really count. We all knew that they ran into a buzzsaw there. There was
They
no
got
hope.
clapped.
There was no
last
hope,
year.
Absolutely no hope.
I need the 49ers to come back healthy though, because that team was actually exciting.
They're gonna be so good next year if they get a quarterback.
Whew. Yo, listen, Stafford's on them. This is like the craziest offseason for quarterbacks that I think we're ever going to see. I mean, I think we're going to get into it, but I mean, it's definitely interesting. And actually, we are going to get into it right now because we're going to go over to the offseason. We've obviously broke down the championship games. Our Super Bowl matchup is set. Obviously, very excited for that. Can't wait for it, honestly. But let's go to the offseason, and we'll play a little where they ended up. Well, I'll ask it this way. Maybe we'll do where we think they'll end up and where we want them to end up. So we'll start it off with this. We'll do some quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson. Luke, I'll start with you on him.
Where I want him on the New York Jets. I think he would work phenomenally in there with Robert Saleh. Where I think he's going to end up, Houston Texans. I'm not sold on him leaving. I know the whole reports have came out that no matter who they sign at head coach, he's going to want out. I'm not really sold on all that. I think they just signed him last offseason to a huge deal. I think he'll be there this year. I mean, he's on the roster as of right now, so I think he'll end up there again.
Yeah, where I want him to go is Carolina. Obviously, I want him there. I want him here bad, man. But I also think he's going to stay with Houston. I think there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. But obviously, that contract, first of all, is just very tough to move. I don't know how the trades work with the NFL, but that's tough to move. And then I don't feel like he's the type of guy to leave a team that drafted him, so I think he'll stay there.
Yeah,
Bro.
3 first-round picks for him. Who's trading that?
Listen, I'll tell you who should trade it. The Patriots. I listen, I've said this from the beginning. The minute I said that Watson, I mean, we're kind of all picking our favorite teams here besides Luke because he has, Rodgers over there. But, bro, I've said it from the beginning since I found out he was on the market. I'm willing to trade Belichick's both of his kids, his wife, and his dog that made an appearance during the NFL. Like, bro, you can take all of them. Just leave Bill with us. You can take everybody else. I'll give you 2 first-round picks and Jared Stidham. Call it a deal, and then bam. But
you don't want Cam back?
What happened?
You don't want Cam back?
Bro, I will
he does.
literally
He does.
jump off of the Tappan Zee Bridge for all my New York people.
I heard
if Cam
you guys
Newton
are
comes
gonna
back.
offer him 4 years, $90 million. I heard that was on the table.
Josh, I don't know what you've been drinking lately, but it's going straight to your head, bro.
Washington's going to give him at least 40 million.
Bro, well, Washington's a terrible franchise, so I would expect them to actually do something like that.
Yeah.
He's getting his bag.
Bro, if Cam got enough bags, bro, he's washed, bro.
He's not washed. He's just old, man. Not washed. Too many surgeries.
How about them Bucks? Facts, bro. Bucks to listen. I just like to say as well. I called a Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl before the season started. I'm just saying. So yeah. I mean, Josh, you can come. I think say this. I'm always right, bro.
I think when Brady signed with the Bucks, about 99% of Earth's population said that this was going to be the Super Bowl.
I don't think so. There was a lot of non-believers.
It's fair. I had Seahawks Chiefs Super Bowl.
See? What'd you have, Josh? You probably
I
had the
had
Panthers in there.
Packers Chiefs. Well, that's what I thought was going to happen, but CMC goes down. We just lost
Yeah,
all
when CMC went down.
week
Well, bro,
two,
Mike
man.
Davis was nice for a little bit. What you mean?
He's not McCaffrey, though, man.
Yeah, he
We
won you
need
some
to-
fantasy games, Connie.
Bro, this is perfect. Josh, I beat you in our fantasy playoffs to win a league, and my other league that I won, Luke was in the league. I'm a double-time champ.
You won it last year too, didn't you? Or
No,
no?
Reese won last
Reese.
year, and then this season when I was saying I was going to win, he was like, "Oh yeah, you say that every year, you're not going to win." Oh, and I'm pretty sure Reese came in last in the division.
I had such a good team and didn't even make the playoffs. It was so disappointing.
It wasn't disappointing.
Like I had Josh Allen, James Robinson, Stephon Diggs. Like I had Josh Jacobs. Oh, so annoying.
I'm going back to back next year. I hope you know that.
I don't know. We'll see.
No, I'm going back to back, absolutely. But let's go back to Watson real quick because I didn't even say it. I disagree with both of you. I think he is actually going to get moved. I think he does end up on the Jets because let me tell you something. I know they want 3 first-round picks or whatever. I don't care. Bro, the Jets haven't had a quarterback since Joe Namath, and Joe Namath wasn't even good. I had this argument with CJ last night on his stream because he was saying to Phil Rivers and Eli should be Hall of Famers. Spoiler alert: Phillip should be. Eli, dog water. But, bro, they don't have a quarterback, and they lost out their chance on Trevor Lawrence. I don't think that they're sold on anybody yet to 100%. And let's be real here: you draft any quarterback, you're hoping they become Deshaun Watson. So why not already just trade the picks for somebody you know is good instead of hoping that somebody's good? Listen, Eli did not beat Brady in 2 Super Bowls, okay? A stick of gum helped what's his name? I can't even think of his name.
David Tyree.
Yeah, I don't speak about him. I don't even know his name. That's how much I hate him. David, the stick of gum on the helmet helped him, and then here's my thing too. Brady led both game-winning drives in those Super Bowls, and the defense couldn't hold it down. So I blame Bill. But whatever, no problem. But I think Deshaun ends up going to the Jets, which is really weird that that's his number 1 spot, bro.
Yeah,
like it's really strange to me that he wants to go. I mean, I know it is because of Robert Saleh, but I mean, it's still really weird to me that he wants to play for the Jets, especially over the Dolphins, because I think the Dolphins have pieces to actually win now, especially if Watson was their quarterback. Like if Watson was their quarterback, I think that they're like a 12-4, 13-3 team because their defense is solid right now. I mean, they went 10-6 this year with playing Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick. So imagine what a stable quarterback situation could do for them. But Watson's definitely the number 1 out there, and I think it's going to be real interesting to see what happens. Now let's move it over to somebody I don't think anybody is going to say he's going anywhere, but Aaron Rodgers. Luke,
come on. he's going to be the Green Bay quarterback, hopefully forever. And if he's not, I will probably be a Minnesota Vikings fan by that point. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's probably staying in Green Bay, but I do really want to see him on the Rams. I think that would be cool to watch. See him and Russell Wilson play twice a year and be in the same division would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think he stays on the Packers, obviously. But if I had to pick a place for him to go, I'm not going to say New England every time, so I just can't. Bro, I would like to him on the Colts, really wouldn't mind it. Like, it's a great offensive line. They have a solid running game, and then you can get Rodgers off play action. I mean,
top 5 defense. That's a Super Bowl team right there.
They absolutely would be a Super Bowl team if they could land Rodgers. But I think we can all agree that he's not going anywhere. Now let's go over to my preseason MVP pick real quick. And Josh, I think you misread it, bro. I obviously meant Carson Wentz is going to win MVP this year and not last year.
No, you said this year, man.
No, I don't remember that.
This current season that just happened, you said MVP.
I think you're wrong.
Nope.
Listen, all right, fine. Josh, where do you think? What do you think? Where do you want him to be, and where do you think he'll be?
I want him to go to the Patriots just so you'd shut up about it. And then he'd suck there, and then I'd be like, what'd I tell you, Connie? But
you know who he wouldn't be worse than, though?
I don't care. You're going to say care.
Cameron Newton.
all right, man, it's whatever. But I would like to see him on the Patriots, but I think he stays in Philly. I think them bringing in the Colts offensive coordinator kind of gave him a little bit more confidence in the head coaching department. So I think he winds up staying there for now.
Yeah, I actually I want him on the Colts. I think those ties with him and Frank Reich are a little it's just cool. It's just cool to see. But where I think he's going to end up, I think he's going to stay in Philly. And absolutely nothing Jalen Hurts showed me this year makes me believe that he's a better quarterback than Carson Wentz.
Really?
And absolutely nothing.
See, here's the thing. I kind of agree with you. I just want to know why, because I feel like most people would think that we're wrong here.
I mean, well, even though Carson Wentz had such a horrible season, I think the peak of Carson Wentz, if we could see that again, because you have to realize his entire offensive line got hurt. He had absolutely nobody to throw to. He made Travis Fulgham his number one wide receiver. Zach Ertz is a shell of himself. I just think it was an anomaly season.
Let me tell you something. Drafting Zach Ertz in fantasy, terrible idea this season.
Yeah.
Also, terrible idea was taking his over on yardage for the season on player props. Unbelievable.
But yeah, can I just talk about something real quick?
Of course.
I hate how this is becoming a trend in the NFL. Before Jalen Hurts started for the Eagles a couple games, they used to bring him in these like one play packages.
Bro, worst thing that I blame the Saints. Yeah,
literally, Taysom. It's the stupidest thing ever. I wish we could stop that. It's the worst.
Here's the thing though, because the NFL is such a copycat league. I feel like in 2 years it's not going to happen anymore. Because please tell me you guys remember when the Wildcat offense was like a thing. Like for like 1.5 seasons, everyone was like, "Yo, we're gonna run the Wildcat, man." And no. The only reason the Dolphins started that was because they didn't have a quarterback. They sucked, so they started running the Wildcat to try to be inventive, bro. The whole let's put Carson out at wide receiver and then Jalen Hurts, bro, dumbest thing. I mean, they can do it with Hill because like he has shown that he can be a pretty solid, tight end type of thing or gadget back, whatever the hell they want to make him. But I can't do it, bro.
They keep trying to take every athletic quarterback, and it's like, hey, you could split out wide a little bit, come in motion, but it doesn't work like that. So I hope they quit doing that too.
Bro, next year all of a sudden Tom Brady's going to be out there playing wide receiver instead. Like,
yeah, that ball will go right over his head. He'll be diving for it, just like he did in the the Super Bowl? Was that?
I believe it was, and I don't even know what Super Bowl you're talking about. Never even heard of it.
Really special.
I've never heard of that play. Never even seen it. I still blame Bill for that one as well. Bro, how are you going to bench Malcolm Butler and not tell anybody why? Yeah, we still don't know why.
True.
Unbelievable. But I think Wentz No. I think Wentz is going to go to the Colts. I really do. I don't know why. I feel like the situation there is just kind of broken, even though they fired Peterson. But like Josh said, I've been saying it. Get my man on the Pats because Carson Wentz is not washed like everybody else says. That offensive line, listen, I'm starting to think that somebody cursed the Eagles state like Lincoln Financial, bro. Like, because I don't know what happened. Now nobody can stay healthy. It's like somebody moved their stadium onto a burial ground or something like that. But Carson Wentz to the Patriots. I've said, Luke, this is my offseason plan if I was a GM for the Patriots. You ready for this? I've said it many times before. This is going to bring us back to the Super Bowl. Ready? So everybody comes back on the defensive side of the football from staying out this year. You trade for Carson. You sign Allen Robinson because I said we got the $60 million cap, so you finally have a wide receiver, and then you draft Kyle Pitts. Instant Super Bowl again.
I like that Kyle Pitts. I like him. I think I have him mocked there in my last mock draft, so yeah.
So hire me. Like I don't know. I don't know what else I can do. Bro, I'm playing a franchise mode in Madden right now. And you know how you can trade for picks very easily in that. I traded up to number 1, got Trevor Lawrence. I traded up again, got Jamar Chase. Oh my God. I rebuilt the Patriots like it was no problem.
Yeah, if only it was that easy.
If only it was that easy.
That's true.
All right. Now our final quarterback or final player of this, Matthew Stafford, who kind of came out of nowhere, sort of, that he's not going to be on the Lions this year. I don't even know where to begin with this one. So, Luke, I'll let you go.
Denver Broncos.
Don't because I can't. If Joyce gets that to come true,
I knew you
I
were gonna
can't
say
hear
that.
it in the group chat.
I
Bro.
would love to see him on the Denver Broncos. They've consistently not been able to draft a quarterback, even though John Elway's not there. I don't think they're going to be in a position to draft a guy or a top guy. I think they go and trade a guy for like Matthew Stafford. You already have a good offense. You have a good offensive line. Garrett Bowles was incredible this season. Cortland Sutton's going to be coming back. KJ Hamler's there. Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant. I think that might be a top 10 offense right there.
Yeah, I think him on the Broncos would be really nice. I think he winds up staying in Detroit, but I think this is where the Colts could really get a good quarterback here too. He's got a lot of good years left. If the Colts get him, they already have a really good defense, bunch of good young running backs, and Stafford he's an elite quarterback just on a really shitty team. So I think him on the Colts would definitely make them Super Bowl contenders.
Cut Jimmy G, bring Stafford in. Niners are Super Bowl contenders.
I like it.
I agree. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of missed what both of you said because I was looking at something on Twitter. But I think. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know where to put Stafford, bro.
Giants, maybe.
Nah, I think they're too in love with Danny Dimes over there.
Washington. Could go to Washington.
You know what I wouldn't hate? I really would not hate him on the Jets, bro. Like, I don't know why. I feel like
The Jets,
like I said, I don't know why I want the Jets to be successful. Maybe it's because, the New York vibes, but like it's so annoying just to see how bad they are. But like after a while, like it's so weird. I'm always like, you always hear about people like, oh, I haven't seen my team win in 50 years. And like in my head, I don't know if it's because I'm a Patriots and Yankee fan that like it just doesn't add up to me. But like the fact that Jet fans haven't seen any success, like ever.
Sanchez was the last.
Yeah, they had 2 years of Sanchez and Rex Ryan before that went to shit as well. Like,
yeah, they had that Ryan Fitzpatrick season.
Hey.
Yeah, first year of Todd Bowles, but that they missed the playoffs the last week.
10-6.
10-6, and you missed the playoff. Only the Jets, man. Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker were looking like they were back in their prime.
It must be a Ryan Fitzpatrick thing because he.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, that was the most touchdowns he's ever had in a Jets quarterback's ever had.
It's ridiculous. They're so bad.
Like, you know what? Fine, I'll just say because I kind of want the Jets to be successful somehow. I'm almost starting to feel bad, which is weird because I don't really have too many emotions in me. So let's just get Stafford to the Jets, make the Jets better. But I don't know. I don't know where I think he's actually going to go. It's an interesting thing to say the least. All right, we've done some quarterbacks. Let's go over to coaches. Who do you think has had the best coaching hire so far? I mean, the Jets have hired the Eagles, Falcons, Lions, Jags. Who do you guys think it is, Josh? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Jets have made the best decision so far with the respect that Salas has around the league. I think it's really going to attract more players. I mean, Watson has already said that the Jets are his number one option, and he's a big reason why because of that hire. So I think that was the best move, especially because they need that defense to step up. So bringing him in is going to help that out a lot. So I'd go with the Jets.
Yeah, as of right now, it's the Jets, but I'm telling you, in 2 weeks, it will be the Houston Texans after they hire Eric Bieniemy after his second Super Bowl win in a row. I can't believe he's not a head coach yet. I think that's what they have to do to keep Deshaun Watson there, honestly.
That would be interesting because I can't believe Bieniemy's not a coach either. I guess I go with the Jets as well. Kind of like what you said, Josh. Everybody around the league is like in love with it. Richard Sherman said really good things. Kyle Shanahan, obviously said how great of a person he is. I watched an interview with him. He's super well spoken. He's just easy to like. So I think the Jets finally got something right. You guys finally take a breath, Jets fans. You did something correct. Mm-hmm. Now we did go with best coach hiring right now. It wasn't in the script, but I'm kind of curious. What do you think the worst one was? Because I got one in the back of my head that I think some people might not agree with. But Luke, what do you think?
I think it's got to be. Well, I don't even know his name. Nick Sirianni, or
I don't know. I just saw something say that all Eagles fans were going to be calling him Sriracha.
Exactly. I think there could have been a ton of better other candidates, but then again, Packers hired Matt LaFleur. I didn't know who the hell he was, and he ended up winning 26 games in his first 2 seasons. So,
Josh, who's the worst hire? You're muted, by the way.
My bad. I would go with the Eagles probably too, just because not knowing a lot about them, and we all know Frank Reich handled a lot of the offense for the Colts this year, so just not knowing a bunch about them. But if I had to pick a different team, not to just go with the Eagles, I would say the Jags. Urban
I
Meyer
hate you.
League, man.
I don't like you, bro, because that's what I was going to say.
Not an Urban Meyer fan.
Bro, here's my thing. It's not even like I'm not a fan of Urban Meyer. It's his first time in the NFL. He's coming back out of retirement, so it's not like he has the edge. See, like, because here's the thing: when college coaches come into the league, they get like steals in the draft. You saw it when Pete Carroll came back to the NFL. You get steals in the draft because you know the college players very well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of get steals in those later rounds. Like, so he's been out of football. He has the health problems. First time in the NFL. Like, I don't even know if he'll make it through his whole NFL contract. And not saying he's gonna like die or something. Like, knock on wood. I mean, God. But like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Urban Meyer hiring. Like, it's interesting. It gets the eyes on you. You know, they made the headlines for like 3 days, and then we all realized that they were the Jags, and we just didn't care again. But I don't know.
Could you imagine if they took Justin Fields with the first pick just because of his ties with Ohio State?
Bro, if they end up doing that, I think he gets fired on the spot.
He's got to.
I think Jet fans would also cry.
Yeah, imagine if they traded.
No, I got it. I got it. This is what's gonna happen. Oh God, I can see it happening now because it's the Jets. The Jets are gonna trade their first round pick and move back in the draft or something like that, whatever. And then the Jags take Justin Fields with the first overall pick. And then the Jets, who everybody wanted, Trevor Lawrence, still don't get him. I can see it happening right now.
And they trade back to number 8 with the Panthers, and the Panthers get the second pick, and we get Trevor Lawrence.
Oh,
yeah, that's what.
Watch, this is all gonna come true, and I'm gonna go on like all the talk shows, and it's gonna be unbelievable. Can't wait. All right, that wraps it up for. Actually, you know what? No, it doesn't wrap it up for football because I want to be annoying. Hey, Josh.
What's up?
I know we got to do something real quick. Can you the predictions recap that we do every week? Could you tell the people our records from last week, please?
Both went 2-0. Okay, we both went 2-0.
You picked the Bucks?
Yeah, I picked the Bucks. I said because I picked.
I swear to God, you didn't pick the Bucks.
Who they play I picked the Saints, and then I said I'm done betting against Brady, and I picked the Bucks last week. So we both went 2-0 this weekend. I can tell you don't believe me. Go back and watch it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I planned all this because I thought you went 1-1 and I went 2-0.
Yeah, you were ready to talk shit, but
I mean, I still am because once again that means I'm gonna win the pick segment.
No, man, because we got the Super Bowl,
and I'm up.
Are you up by 1 or are you up by 2?
Ooh,
I don't know. I think I'm up by. Hey, if anything, we tie.
All right, let's call it up by 1 and just leave it up to the Super Bowl.
I still think I'm going to win.
All right, let's see.
Because, Luke, if you didn't know, this man, I won the regular season picks, and Josh was talking hot that he was coming back for me.
You won the lottery, bro.
Bro. But you were coming back hot at me that you were going to win the playoffs.
Dude, I really thought I was. You can't blame me for not picking the Browns.
True.
That can't be something on me.
You picked the Browns, Connie?
Of course I picked the Browns.
Oh, my God.
I'm just smarter than your average bear, man.
Nobody could have expected that. No. First snap over the head, shades of 2013 Super Bowl.
That was a wonderful Super Bowl because I hate Peyton Manning and that giant forehead of his.
Me too.
Bro, that's the crash landing spot for Air Force One. Like, if they need it, Peyton just lays down, his forehead pops out, and bam, we're all good. As we got the boss in here, Perry. So make sure, Josh, you sit up straight. Salute real quick to Perry, Mr. CEO of things over here. All right, that will wrap it up for football, though. We'll go and do a little NBA because Luke, I know that you're not just football out here, baby. I've seen you in the group chats active over here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over to the NBA real quick. We'll do our way too early MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year awards. Josh, I'll let you go first, so you can go down the list. What do you want to do, Josh? You want to go down the list, say everything, or should we go one award by one?
We can just go down the list.
All right, start it off.
Yeah, MVP. I think it's between two players. I think it's between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. I think they've both just been playing out of their mind this season. Jokic is 0.2 assists away from averaging a triple-double, and Joel's been putting up crazy numbers. I would give the edge to Joel right now just due to team success. The Nuggets haven't been winning as many games as they were last year, but I think it's going to be a close race between them. And then obviously players like Luka, LeBron, and AD will be keeping their names in the conversation for the whole year. But I would say it's between those two right now. And Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going Miles Turner. He's been blocking everything at the rim all season long. He's averaging like around three, I think it's three, close to 4 blocks a game right now this season. So he's been a beast all year. I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. And then Rookie of the Year, LaMelo has just been, I think he leads still every rookie category: points, rebounds, assists, and steals. So he's been coming off the bench, not even getting max minutes. So I'd say he's Rookie of the Year. And Coach of the Year, I'll go with Frank Vogel just because it's the Lakers, and I don't think there's any other coaches really shining out there with how the Nets have been playing pretty bad so far.
Yeah, I'm really glad you said that because my boy Kev, who's in the live stream, just said Jokic. Him and I get into legit arguments who's better, Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic. And the MVP right now is Joel Embiid. The guy's like averaging like 40 points just the past like 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. He's playing out of his mind. And although Nikola Jokic is obviously like, generational type talent, you don't see, point guard centers like that every day. But my MVP right now is Joel Embiid. Defensive Player of the Year, I agree, Miles Miles Turner. I think Rookie of the Year is obviously going to be LaMelo Ball. I don't really think anybody thinks otherwise. I mean, Anthony Edwards isn't playing amazing, and neither is Wiseman. So I think LaMelo. Coach of the Year, I'm going with Doc Rivers. I think he's doing great things in Philly. What are they, the number 1 seed right now in the East? And he doesn't watch the Nuggets games. Yep. And then for 6th Man of the Year is my boy Toronto Raptor Chris Boucher. I have to make sure to give him a shout out. He's been playing outstanding.
All right. Let's do. All right. So let's see. MVP. I know that right now it's a 2-man race. I'm sticking with my preseason pick. The Durantula, the Slim Reaper, is going to end up winning MVP, bro. This man. Let's this man's playing out of his mind. He's still with it. So KD's still nice with it. Defensive Player of the Year, it is Miles Turner at this moment. I think that because AD got snubbed last year, that they're going to end up giving it to him. But right now, I'd still say it's Turner. Rookie of the Year, obviously, it's LaMelo right now. I don't think anybody's going to really disagree. And then I'm just going to do it to mix it up because I'm kind of a weird person. Coach of the Year. At this moment, Tom Thibodeau, baby. Knicks, for like the first time ever, are not completely awful. Like, you can actually watch their games and somewhat have a decent time. Like, that's just not possible over the last few years. So you know what? Shout out Tom Thibodeau for actually making New York basketball relevant again, besides the Nets, obviously, but we kind of knew that was going to come when KD and everybody came back. So the Knicks, listen, they're not back, like everybody likes to say in the unwrapped group chats and on Twitter.
No, they're back. They're back.
Oh, I don't know about that.
They're back.
It might be a little premature there to say that they're back, but they're not awful anymore. And if you're a Nets fan, or not a Nets fan, a Knicks fan, that's more than you could say in probably your lifetime. Because when's the last time they were good?
13.
Yeah. Oh man, they really messed that team up so bad, bro.
Sure.
I don't know how they do it. Only the Knicks. All right. Well, that'll do it for the NBA, NFL, and now we'll go to our final segment of the day, which is one of my favorites, to say the least. Stop the cap. And Luke, if you're not familiar with this is where we can call each other out, call out a player, anything like that. Call out whoever you want to stop the cap. Like, stop it, Josh. I'll let you. Josh, I'm going to let you go first, though.
I think the only thing that I have to disagree with, I love Chris Boucher, Luke, but Jordan Clarkson, I think, deserves his love as 6th man So I'd say that's the only thing that I've heard that I disagree with. But Boucher's been a beast this year.
All right, Connie. Although I just said that Brady was the guy, I got my hoodie on right here. You can see
Oh
it right
my
there.
God, take
Forever,
it off.
I will always defend that man till the day I die. He's been put in terrible situations. And it was a tough loss last night.
Ah,
Oh my God.
Patriots. I mean, I don't know how at any point you're ever going to say that Brady's not the GOAT. So, I mean, I wasn't even really going to say anything, but now I got to tell you, stop the cap on your own segment, bro. Listen, the conversation, where's Brady's signature on this one? I don't even remember where it is. They put it in like a weird spot. You think it would be front and center, but it's low-key not. I can't even find it. It doesn't matter. Oh, there we go. I think, look at this. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Oh, okay, Skip. Jeez.
The absolute GOAT. Not even a question. 10 Super Bowls. I mean, I just literally knocked everything over in my room. Literally everything. But you know what? That's like Brady knocking out Aaron Rodgers for the GOAT debate last night. It was simply magnificent. I loved every second of it, especially when they were up big. I was in the group chat. Is this your GOAT, Luke? And I noticed, kind of funny. I noticed that when they were down, you didn't respond. But then when they got those interceptions, you came back with the voice messages. A little weird, huh?
I had to go take a step outside. I had to pace around. I had a bunch of drinks in me at that point. I was like, I'm not getting through this game sober. So,
it was a wonderful day yesterday, and I mean wonderful. Except, I'm telling you, the only thing that would have made it better is if the Bills won. If the Bills won that game, I would have been on cloud 9 because then I would have been able to talk about Josh Allen and oh God, but it just couldn't happen. But that will wrap it up for this edition of Generational Sports. We, of course, before we head on out of here, got to thank these sponsors one more time. So make sure you go over to I almost said USM 100. Make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code USM 100 to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Doing great things for people over there in the betting world. Like I said, week 1 in the NFL, Chiefs had to lose by 56 for you to not win money. They're always giving out free plays, doing great things for you. So make sure you go check them out. USM 100 doubles your first deposit. Then with your winnings, because you're going to have to make your winnings with my bookie and not the lotto. Because let me tell you something, I'm a little upset. I played both of these lottos and didn't win anything.
Same, dude.
Powerball, Mega. Are you kidding me? Like nothing? I'm spending all this. They always say you got to be in it to win it. I'm calling BS from now on. I'm not going to be in it anymore because I'm not winning nothing.
It's tough.
I'll take my money to my bookie. And then with that money, I'm going to go over to RX Hemp, use code RX Hemp -USN to save me 10% on my order. CBD creams, if you're sitting down all day, if you're up working out, doing whatever you want, make sure you go check them out. Some nice pain relief cream over there. And then, of course, with your leftover money, go over to Teespring/store/Unwrapped. Go check out everything that we got over there. I mean, we got T-shirts from Unwrapped. We got sweatshirts. We got fanny packs out here, if that's what you're into. I know you California freaks are sporting fanny packs around there. And then, of course, you scroll down a little bit. Me and Josh got some beautiful merch out there. Got a mask. We got a T-shirt. Saturday Standouts, Ladies First. The Hard Count, Backstop Banter, my other show. We got merch as well. I mean, if I'm forgetting it, Fights Unwrapped. So if there's a show on the live lineup, we probably have merch for us. So make sure you go check it out. Support your favorite creators, or hey, support all of us. Feel free if you got some money laying around. Like, I mean, he didn't pop in the chat today, but like Alex, if you got plenty of money laying around, just feel free to spend it on us. But that'll do it. Josh, Luke, plug anything before you go. Luke, I'll start with you since you are our esteemed guest.
Thank you. Just go check out my TikTok at football.fanzone. I try to post daily content. At least it takes hours to edit. So, go check me out there.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Make sure you come back next Monday. Check out me and Connie talking about Super Bowl weekend.
Yes, sir. And make sure you check out me on Twitter, Anthony Conover _. Check out the sports page for me and Josh, Gen Z Sports, as you can see in my name right here. Backstop Banter on Thursday as well. Me and Michael just turned it into a podcast, so we're very excited about that. Make sure you go check it out. on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, everything like that is available. Basically, wherever you get podcasts. We did an episode with Dolan Cornett. His dad ended up joining us. It was probably one of my favorite episodes I've done, if not my favorite with Unwrapped. It was just nice, laid back, family baseball stuff. Real good with that. I think we might have Alex on this week talking about the Padres and everything like that. So make sure you go check that out. And then last but not least, your boy is an affiliated Twitch streamer now. So if you got Amazon Prime and you want to link up it, if you want to link it up to your Twitch and get a Twitch Prime sub, feel free to drop it on your boy. And I accept any donations, anything like that. So feel free. Anthony_Conover on Twitch. Make sure you check it out. He's playing some Warzone Madden. Gonna get a little 2K in. So make sure you go check that out. But that'll do it for this edition of Generational Sports. Luke, once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Josh, I'll see you next week, my brother. But until then, peace.